Okay, and we're live. And I'm just, can you hear me? Doo-doo-doo. Okay, there's a green dot on bottom of the screen. I'm not sure what that means. So just waiting for some folks to show up into the live. I'm going to try not to tap the table or anything because that's going to shake everything and it's also going to make noise. So there's a lot of stuff I have to get used to with this whole setup, including not making too much noise, extra noise, trying not to clear my throat in the middle of talking. And I will say, as a couple of warnings, hi. Somebody else is in the live. Yay! As a couple of warnings, my cats, three of my four cats, are running around like crazy this morning. I'm not sure what's gotten into them, but they may well cause some havoc and make some noise. So just FYI, in case you hear any crashing and bumping and all that kind of stuff, that's my three cats: Luna, Loki, and Momo. Goldie is my oldest cat. She'll be 14 middle of this year, and she is separated for a number of reasons. The largest one being that she has to have special food or else her tummy gets really upset. And in order to keep her from eating everybody else's stuff, she has to be separated. Hi, Rebecca. Welcome to the live. This is my very first live. I'm so excited to have somebody in the room with me. Thank you. How are you this morning? Is it 10 a.m. where you are? I'm on the East Coast. Oh, pardon the sip. Sorry, I should have warned you. So this is actually a CES Deals notebook diamond painting kit that I got from Rachel Ray Craft. She gave it away as a gift on one of her lives. And it's got blank pages here. I know my camera's a little close. I'm still working out the camera arm thing. But we got some blank pages in there. So this is what I'm going to be working on today. I'm going to maybe wait just a few more minutes to see if a few more people show up. But I've got the book here. I've got all the diamonds here. And it's got lots of these, excuse me, still a little congested this morning. It's got these different shaped and colored sort of rhinestones. Yeah, all different colors. So I'm excited to work on this. I figured this would be a nice small project to work on. North Carolina, okay. I'm pretty good. I'm a little sleepy still. I'm trying to get the crust out of my eyes, you know. But North Carolina is not too far from me. I'm in Virginia, and North Carolina is actually one of my favorite places. I used to go to the Outer Banks for vacation every year with my family. So definitely love North Carolina. Are you near the beach or are you further inland? Let's see. I also have, as I'm going through my stuff, I have this really spiffy excuse me. I have this really spiffy diamond painting pen that I got from Handmade Diamond Painting Pens on Facebook. I probably should have put the link in the description, but I didn't think about that. I did put the link for this from CES Deals and also Rachel's unboxing video. So if that's something you're interested in, that's a link in the video. And that goes for anybody who might be watching this later too. So I've got my spiffy diamond painting pen. I had this made custom. I love blue and purple. They're my favorite colors. So yeah. So we got the diamonds. We got our pin. We have the wax. At some point, I might actually get the patty wax that that Robin has been making. Robin with a Y. Okay, Asheville. I don't think I've been in Asheville, but I have a friend who loves Asheville. It's like her favorite place ever. So at some point, she's probably going to abandon me and move to Asheville from Virginia. So I do apologize for clearing my throat. I'm still trying to get going this morning. I've been up for a couple hours, but it takes a while for my sinuses to really get clear and set and everything. So I apologize if that's annoying, but I'll do my best to skip it. I have my coffee here too. I don't know if you can see my poutine mug. I'm going to try not to tilt it too much, but I have a poutine mug. It's a poutine corn. So I've got my coffee here, getting caffeinated, getting woken up. Another sip. So I think I've got all my stuff. I don't know how you all like to diamond paint, but especially if I think I might get messy, I have this little Tidy Crafts tray that I kind of keep everything in. That way I don't lose anything. You can see that I was kitting up um, a kit. I was kitting up a canvas for a friend of mine. I gave it to her and her daughter for Christmas, birthday, everything, and that's one of the leftover drills from. So that's still in there. But yeah, I like to keep all my stuff in here. That way, if I happen to spill or get like shaky hands or something like that, I don't end up with drills all over the table. It really helps a lot. So I'm just gonna let's see, what is the best setup here? Okay, I'm actually gonna put my my full tray over here because I don't think I'm going to be too worried about losing some diamonds here. Cat hair. Okay. So, because I just don't have quite enough space. Growing up, you used to live in Galax, Virginia. Oh, yeah. I actually have my sister, my stepsister. It's a confusing family situation. Maybe someday I'll explain it. But my stepsister lived in Galax. Now she lives in Raleigh, North Carolina. So I'm a little bit familiar with Galax. Oh yeah, I love this notebook too. So I had a choice when I won of this one or a cat one. And normally I would go for the cat one because I'm a super cat lady. I have 4 cats, and if my husband had his way, we'd have a lot more cats. But at the moment, we have 4 cats. And so normally I would have gotten the cats, but this looked really, really cool. And there's some um, really pretty rhinestone gems in here. I'm excited to get. We'll see how far we get. I know that there's another diamond painter who goes on at noon on Sundays, noon Eastern. So I definitely don't want to go any longer than that. I don't know if I will go even that long. Just kind of depends on how we're all feeling and how things are going. So we'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and start with just number 1 here. And I'm going to pull off this. Oops. Okay, I might have to start with number 2 because I think I just opened this pack. No, maybe I didn't do that. I should just use my scissors. I have a pair of scissors over here. So Rebecca, are you a YouTube creator as well, or are you mostly a watcher? Do you diamond paint? Do you do other crafts too? What kind of stuff do you do? I'm just setting up my diamonds here. These are actually really cool. These are textured. So that's going to be fun to play with. So let's see. I feel like I have to fill up so much time doing this, and I don't want, I'm one of those people when I'm watching other people's videos, when nothing is happening on the screen and people are just talking, it kind of makes me crazy. So, so I don't want to be that person for you. I'm going to make sure I can try to make sure that I can do this and let you still see what's going on. So I'm just going to peel back some of the tape here. I can see that there's some ones right about here. I don't think there are a ton of ones because there aren't a lot of drills, but those look kind of like snowflakes. Aren't they cool? Made some videos, but haven't in a little while. Just to watch, love diamond paint and cross stitch. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I've been mostly a watcher for most of this past year. But Rachel Raycraft, and you're probably familiar with her, she started doing a floss tube, and that really inspired me because I got really, really into cross stitch about, probably 2 years ago now. But this past year, Stiach came along. It was my second time doing Stiach. I ran a team, and so I was the team captain, and I got so into it, and I got really, really into cross stitch. And so that's sort of been my main craft. And when Rachel started doing a floss tube, I was like, oh my gosh, now I have to do a floss tube too. I don't know what it was. I mean, I had been inspired to try to do diamond painting before as well, but making diamond painting videos is more difficult, I think. And part of it is the camera setup and everything. It's taken me probably all week to be able to figure out how to get this camera set up in such a way that you can actually see what I'm doing. In a meaningful way, and that's been the hard part, is trying to set that up and everything. But doing a floss tube is super simple. Hi, Crafty Heifer. Did I say that right? Good morning. How are you? So it took me a while to figure out the setup and everything. Whereas floss tube, you just sit in front of a camera and you talk about your stuff, and and it's super easy. And I love talking about cross stitch. I love sharing my cross stitch stuff. So that's really, really fun. I know I'm not doing a whole lot. I have trouble talking and doing things at one time, so I apologize for that. I'm going to do the best I can. Oh, good. You know each other. Yay. Hi, ladies. Okay, so it looks like I've gotten all the ones in this area. I'm going to move down to the bottom. I can see some ones down here. I hope you don't mind that I'm going to kind of shift around and twist things and strange angles and that kind of stuff. So hopefully that won't bother you too much. So is everyone having a good morning? Do we have our beverages of choice and we're all comfy cozy? Oh yeah, gritting is it's I go back and forth. Oh, hi, Marissa. I didn't know that was your screen name. Okay, good morning. Um, yeah, gritting is a thing that I find super super useful. But when I started my Harry Potter letters from Hogwarts, Stitch Your Own Adventure, I actually decided not to grid. I find that gridding is kind of preventing me from getting into projects the way I want to. So now I've just kind of thrown caution to the wind, and I've certainly regretted it in some cases. But to grid that 250 by 250 piece would have taken me hours, and I was just not in for it. Just really recently bought some hand dyed 18 count Ada from Bestitch Me. Oh, I've heard about Bestitch Me. You'll have to let me know how that is when you get it. I've heard good things about them. I usually get from I shop with Misty at Mystic Hand Dyed. She has some fantastic colors. This week she's posting at noon Eastern, and she's going to be posting a ton of gem and jewel tones. She's done some previews in her Facebook group, and they look gorgeous. So I don't have nearly the kind of money I need to be able to purchase from her this week, but she's doing all kinds of stuff. So I will probably cut out of here early enough to be able to get on Facebook to start looking at that. So Marissa, what big project are you working on? Is that the Harry Potter Stitch Your Own Adventure, or is that something else? Smaller sections of grading instead of, oh yeah, that would make a lot of sense if you did small sections. That's going to be one, a lot faster, and two would probably help you out a lot. Let's see. Sister brought me some pre-graded 18 count. Yeah, that stuff is nice. Yeah, I do like the pre-gridded. My only issue with the pre-gridded, and there go the cats. My only issue with the pre-gridded is that then you have to wash it after, unless you're doing a full coverage piece. And I'm one of those hedonistic stitchers who doesn't ever wash anything when I'm done. So I tend to try to keep things as clean and neat as possible, and then I just I iron and finish however I'm going to finish. And so I tend not to wash. So I don't, that's the only reason I don't like the pre-gridded stuff. Otherwise it's fantastic. I might use pre-gridded when I finally start working on the Hayed pattern, the Heaven and Earth Designs pattern that I have. I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember if I still have a piece of pre-gridded 25 count or if I thought about buying that and didn't buy it. Excuse me. So Marissa, have you already figured out what house you are, or have you decided what house you're going to be for the Soya? Because I think I'm going to go way off the grid, and I'm going to do a combo banner for chapter 1 personally. Oh yeah, finding a piece of pre-graded fabric that's that large, I cannot even imagine. You might be able to find it at 1-2-3 Stitch. Yay, Rachel's here. Hi, Rachel. How's it going? What time is it in Ireland? It's got to be like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm not good with maths and with time. You might recognize this piece. Do you recognize this piece, Rachel? Let's see. That might be, is that all the ones? That can't be all the ones. Well, let's look here. 1, 1, 1. I see 2s and stuff. What will happen is that I will decide I'm done with one, and then I will come back and realize that there's like 6 more ones that I missed somewhere. I don't see it just at the moment. I love the way these look. These look really cool. See, Raven Puff. There we go. Yes, I love people who are multiple houses. I started seeing these comments on the Facebook group where everybody's like, or where several people are like, no, you can only be in one house because if you think about it, you can only live in one room and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, it's all fantasy. So why can't I be whatever I want to be? If I want to be a Slitherclaw, I will be a Slitherclaw because it's fantasy and I get to choose and that's that. So yeah, so Raven Puff for the win is what I say. But you're gonna do a Hufflepuff banner. Okay, well that works too. But yeah, I want to do this like super complicated combo flag with both house sigils and the letters and yeah, so chances are it might be June before I actually get to do that. We'll see, we'll see how that works. I have so many other projects going on. It's crazy. Raymarin, yeah, there you go. No, I don't think I've seen a woman doing the combo. Is she doing just two houses or like four houses? How many houses is she doing? Hold on a second, guys. I think I need to find some plastic baggies because I think I'm done. I meant to have plastic baggies. I don't even know where my plastic baggies are. Oh my gosh. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll have to look that up because I definitely would like some ideas. I have some ideas for how I want to do it, but it's probably going to be super complicated, and I don't know how long it's going to take me. So hold on just a second, guys. I will be right back. I just remembered that I had some plastic baggies really, really close. So that was that was super convenient. Plastic baggies, all the baggies. Okay, because I think I'm done. I think I'm done with this color. And I also and I have a magic marker close by. Yay! Look at me, almost prepared. I like this is so funny. Rachel told me the other day that I look super organized, and I was like, I am fooling you because I feel like I am the least organized person ever. An alternate Slytherin banner. Ooh, what kind of specialness are you gonna do with your alternate Slytherin banner, Rachel? Slytherin silly fun. Yeah, I really want to know. Are you gonna design the pattern yourself, or are you gonna do a combo of other patterns? Because that's might be what I end up doing is like a combination of other patterns that I've seen. So this is number one. One. I think we're done with number one. I'm just gonna put that right over here. Do. Yeah, keep it simple is pretty good when you're just starting out. And see, I'm starting to get a swelled head because I've done these stitch patterns and they can be so crazy and complicated that I'm starting to feel like, ooh, I can do anything. I can do this and I can do that. Oh my gosh, a snake with a tutu, that would be so cute. I have to see that if you do that. Well, I will see that if you do that because that's how these things work. Okay, well, let's not just show you my arm while I'm opening up. Moving on to number two. Number two, look at me making progress and paying attention to the chat and actually having conversation. Look at me. Yay. Hi, welcome back, Rebecca. And by the way, y'all know this is my very first live. So if y'all have feedback, I am happy to have feedback. I mean, positive, constructive. It doesn't have to be like all happiness and light, but let me know if there's stuff that I can improve on, stuff that you feel like is not working, all that kind of stuff. Because I want to be a pro at this by the 25th, right? Because that can happen. I can just be magically perfect at doing all of this kind of stuff. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to use this specific setup on the 25th because this is really, really close. So it works well for something this size, but obviously you can't even see the whole journal in one shot. And all my other pieces are larger than this. So I'm not really sure how this is going to work for my next live, but we'll see. I mean, it'll all work out one way or another. I have some like 20 by 20 or 25 by 25 snack size kind of DPs that I can work on. So I could do something like that. But this is a nifty color. It's kind of pinky red. I do like the shape of these. These are really cool. I haven't ever worked on this kind of diamond painting course. To be honest, I've only worked on 5 diamond paintings. This is the 6th one in my entire life. And I've only finished one so far. I have 4 whips sitting, and I apologize if I'm going like in and out with the loudness. I'm right next to my camera. More cowbell. Well, next time I'm at the store and I see a cowbell, I will absolutely get a cowbell so I can have more cowbell. I think I need one of those filming arms. I've seen a lot of people with camera arms and stuff, and I think Rachel, you have one of those too, don't you? So that would probably help me get the downward angle without being right on top of everything. So this is actually, I bought this. I bought this arm at Five Below. It's this little plastic adjustable arm, and it's working well enough for right now. And it was only $5.55, so that was pretty cool. But it's not very long. I think the whole thing maybe measures a foot, maybe 18 inches, something like that. So it doesn't have a lot of range as far as that goes. Oh, sweet. Okay. Did you get it from Amazon, Marissa? Because Amazon is like my favorite place to shop. Everything gets here so quickly. Okay, I keep picking. I probably should have like picked a color that showed up in a lot of places. So I have to go down here. I'm also still working out lighting and stuff. With this plastic sheeting, it makes it impossible not to have glare everywhere. Paparazzi Julie. Someone actually sent her a cowbell and she would ring it whenever someone buys something. That's awesome. Oh, only $15. Yeah, that's pretty good. My what you call it? The thing that you stand the camera on, the tripod that I bought from Amazon was like $15. Yeah, I will check Amazon for a camera arm. Is there a specific one that that you all recommend? And how does it hook to your table? Is it like a clamp situation? At the moment, I'm filming in what I call our front room, which is in front of a big bay window. It's about the best place to film, I think, because the light comes in from the window, and I've got lots of light on the correct side of me, so I'm not backlit and all that kind of stuff. But ultimately, this isn't going to be my permanent filming spot, because ultimately, if I get my crap together, I will get my craft room set up, and that's where I will get my camera semi-permanently set up and all that kind of stuff. Oh no, it's hailing? Oh goodness gracious. Clamp one, okay. Adjustable screw clamp. Yeah, don't stay out in the hail. Well, I guess you're inside now if you're messaging with us. But yeah, hail, that's kind of scary. It's not doing much of anything here. It's supposed to be raining. But it's just looking kind of gray and somber outside. It wasn't supposed to rain yesterday, but it got super windy, and by evening time it had started raining. So we're having this weird. Yeah, Luna's not impressed. I can imagine. Is Luna sitting pretty with her little legs crossed? I love when she crosses her front paws in front of her. It is the cutest thing ever. She's so prim and proper. I love it. I would love for y'all to meet my kitties, but the way this camera is set up, if they came up where you could see them, then they would just be giant blurs on the screen, and they would get all in the middle of the diamonds, and none of us would be happy with that, I think. Oh my goodness, my nose wants to be runny now. What is this about? Okay, so that looks like all the twos. This is going really fast. Is this how fast these go for you, Rachel? I mean, I expected it to be kind of quick, but I didn't expect it to be like this quick. Excuse me. Okay, so for next time, a new camera arm and a cowbell is what we need, right? Is there anything else I need for next time? Like, is there a particular trying to think. Trying to think what diamond painting I'm going to work on for DP-a-thon, because I have. I definitely want to work on a whip. I don't want to do a new one. I have a dragon one that's like a small 20 by 25 cowbell. I have the colorful cat that Rachel gave me, which is bigger. It might be harder to get the camera set up correctly for that. I've tried filming that one before and had a lot of trouble. I have a big giant one that's like a 45 by 60 that's a Star Wars. And what is the, oh, and the fourth one is my Halloween pumpkin cat, which I might work on because I'm actually farthest along with it. And part of me wants to just get it done because it was supposed to be for drills and chills, and we're way past drills and chills now. So, so that might be it. I might do the cat and pumpkin. So as you can see, I like cats because 2 of my 4 whips are cat related, cat themed. Actually, oh my gosh, Adam. Oh my God. Okay, so Adam Gay is my husband, y'all. That's my real life husband. And I was just gonna say, oh, you saw a cowbell at Walmart. Me and my husband saw a cowbell at Walmart, but that is my husband. You're not supposed to be on YouTube. You're at work. But I appreciate you stopping in. You're so sweet and supportive. Now everybody can all over you. Mr. Pages. That's so cute. But yeah, Adam and I saw a cowbell at Walmart. And so when Rachel was like, more cowbell, I was like, yeah, we literally just saw one. And it's a cowbell that says more cowbell. Yay, Rachel's still listening. Well, be careful in the hail. I hope it's not like giant sized hail. That would be kind of scary. I'm assuming it's super cold. Let's see, we're on number 3 now. Where is number 3? I should check where number 3 is before I start peeling stuff back. Now we got to buy it, definitely. Yeah, Adam was super sweet. So like 5 minutes before I'm supposed to go live, he actually texted me. He was like, have a good live. And I was like, oh, you're the bestest. I have the bestest hubby. I really do. He's so supportive and sweet. And I'm not saying that just because he's actually here to listen. It helps that he's here because I think I don't appreciate him as much as I should, I think. Or at least let him know how much I appreciate him. So I appreciate you, sweetie. Okay, it looks like all the 3s are down in this area. So I'm gonna scoot down. I'm gonna peel this back and scoot down. Actually, I guess I'll start here in the middle. This is super easy to work on because it's so small. It's easy to get to. It's really nice. So here in Virginia, it is super, super warm. I know it's got to be cold in Ireland. How is it in North Carolina? Is it abnormally warm there too? Because it's like crazy. It's like 70 degrees and it's 10:30 in the morning here. It's crazy. I am not okay with this like summer weather in the middle of what is supposed to be winter. I was promised a snow roller coaster this year, and we are not having a snow roller coaster on or polar coaster. We're not having a polar coaster. Oh goodness, is the hail that bad? Are you and Luna safe? Goodness gracious. So yeah, obviously the weather in Ireland is much worse than it is here. Though apparently there's I got a notification a little while ago that there's a storm warning around here, a thunderstorm warning. And that's probably because even the weather is like, what the heck, y'all? 50 degrees now. Had rain all day yesterday and last night. It was thundering and lightning. It was so windy last night. I was sitting in our bedroom and I could hear the wind howling outside, which never happens. 70 and tornadoes on Friday, snowing yesterday, cold and sunny today. Oh goodness. Your weather's been crazy. Where are you, Marissa? Are you somewhere in the Midwest? I heard that there was snow in western Texas yesterday, and that concerns me because Adam and I are getting ready to go to San Antonio, and I'm like, please, because we went to, okay. Oh, you're in Texas. Okay, are you near San Antonio? Do you have, I can't stop saying y'all. That's part of my vernacular, sweetheart. I can't help it that you're from upstate New York. Y'all is just how I talk. Um, if you're near San Antonio, are there any like nifty craft shops or anything in San Antonio? You're probably way on the other side of the state. I know Texas is massive, so you might not be anywhere near San Antonio. But anyway, what I was trying to say is that last year I decided it would be fun for us to go to Boston over the Martin Luther King weekend. Oh, you're in Dallas. They get snow like once a century. Yeah, it's kind of like Virginia. I have a friend who lives in Houston, and I'm so bad with Texas geography. I never know what's close to what. But I have not ever been to Texas before. I'm excited to go to Texas. I'm going to try to get this. I don't have this anywhere near your visual field. Let's do that. Okay. um, but yeah, so last year I decided because we wanted to go somewhere for a holiday weekend. It was a 4-day weekend. And so I started looking up cheap places to go in January. And of course, the places that come up are Boston and Chicago because nobody wants to travel to Boston and Chicago in January because it's snowing like 72 feet. And I wasn't thinking about that. I was just thinking, okay, it'll be cheaper. So I planned us a trip to go to Boston. And we chose Boston because Adam has a brother and his sister-in-law lived there, and so we knew we could go visit them while we were in the area. And I'd heard lots of good things to do and all this kind of stuff. So we go to Boston, and don't you know that weekend is when that horrible northeastern storm came through, and we actually got we didn't get snowed in. We got mostly ice in Boston, but the weather was bad enough that they canceled our flight. We got stuck for an extra day. PB&J before venturing out again. The weather is crazy. We're going to get a big storm tomorrow. Oh goodness. Well, stay safe. Batten down the hatches. Whatever you need to do to make sure that you're. Um, where did my sticky stuff go? I lost my sticky stuff. Uh oh. This is not good. What did I do with my sticky stuff? Okay. Well, this happens fairly regularly. I will have a thing and then it disappears. I don't know what I did with it. Okay. Well, I fortunately have another kit. You all who diamond paint know exactly what this is like. Like, you have 72 kits laying around at any given point. So I'm glad I picked this up when I went to get the other bags. Dallas to San Antonio, 4.5 hours. San Antonio to Austin is an hour. Austin to Houston, 3 hours. Houston to Dallas, 4 hours. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, one of these days I'll actually, look at a map and kind of get it in my brain. The only reason I know anything about Irish geography is because I've been there twice, and part of the trip has been actually driving through Ireland. And the first time I went in 2016 for Rachel's wedding, my friend Susan and I, we actually drove pretty much the entire country. We started in Dublin. We flew into Dublin, and we drove from there to Kilkenny, and then we went to Tipperary the next morning, and then we drove to Carsavine that day for the wedding, and then after the wedding we went up to Galway, and then we went because we went to Ashford Castle. We did our hawk walk and everything. We did some horseback riding. And then we went farther north. We went up into Northern Ireland. We went to the Giant's Causeway, came through Belfast, I think, and then back down to Dublin. So it was like a whole country tour. And after that, I was fairly familiar with it, where everything was in Ireland. And then when Adam and I went back, went this past October for our anniversary and birthday and big trip for the year and all that sort of stuff. It was our delayed honeymoon too, because we had actually been married for 4 years as of last September, but we had not gone on our honeymoon yet, so it was also our honeymoon. It was a really nice trip. So yeah, I'm fairly familiar with Irish geography because I've actually traveled so much of Ireland, but not with Texas. Maybe after this trip, I'll know where I'm going in Texas. Excuse me. Texas is PMSing like crazy. Yeah. Definitely seems like that. Virginia is just having hot flashes. We're in menopause on this end. Oh goodness, these yellow, I really like the shape of these. I'm not sure why I like the shape of these so much, but it's really cool. I like that they're not just all the same small, round, whatever. Though I am having trouble with the pen sticking. My hand is getting in the way, isn't it? Well, yeah, I get it, Marissa. I don't know all the parts of Virginia, which is kind of not a great thing considering I work for the Economic Development Organization for the entire Commonwealth of Virginia. So I'm not as familiar with the different localities as it should be. It's probably some research that I need to do, but it doesn't. My particular job doesn't have a lot to do with the locality specifically. I do a lot of organization and data management and getting the our business managers who actually go out and talk to companies about coming to Virginia. I help them get prepared for events and make sure that they're getting their data into the system and all that sort of stuff. So the stuff that I do doesn't necessarily pertain directly to locality. So I guess I'm okay that I don't know specifically um, all the different localities and all their different specialties and the great and wondrous things about that locality and over other localities and that kind of stuff. That's not directly my job, so I guess I'm okay. Wow, I'm using. There's a lot of these number threes. I'm surprised that there's so many of these and there weren't that many of one and two. It's interesting. Do 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 do. So, do y'all have any fun plans for the day? You gonna do anything cool or interesting after you get off of YouTube and indulging me in my little live here? Why is this not sticking? No, I must not have enough glue in here. I need to get that patty wax, Rachel. I need to buy into the patty wax. I keep looking at it, but I feel like I can't justify buying a whole block for 750 when I don't know how long it would take me to use it. Like what I really want to do is get a sampler pack because I would like to have all of the scents, but I certainly can't buy a whole block of every scent that I want to try. But Robin doesn't do sampler packs. And I actually messaged her and asked her, and I felt bad because I think I gave her the wrong impression because I think she thought I was asking for free samples, and I wasn't asking for free samples. I was like, I want to buy little bitty ones of all of the scents, like of everything, because I don't diamond paint enough to justify buying more than one block, really. Crochet, Netflix, and cold meds. Aw, I'm sorry you need cold meds. Working to support your craft habit. Yes. I know what your plans after this are, Adam. What do you want to do for dinner tonight? Do I need to cook something? Oh, you can send me a sample. That would be awesome. Yeah, you have all those little bitty ones. Yeah, that's what I would really love is to just buy, like, I want to buy the little bitty ones of everything that she has. Like, I just want one pack of all of the little things. And I think she's not doing that, or at least based on our conversation, that's not something that she's planning on doing, which I think is unfortunate. I think a lot of people are like me and they would buy a sample pack, like even if it was like $10, they buy a sample pack if it's, 10 or 12 different scents, because I don't like to just use one scent. I want to, and before I commit to a big block, I want to know what it is that I'm buying. Okay, so I think we're done with three, which is good because I'm running out of three. Pardon the sniffling. My nose is running for no apparent reason. I don't have any tissues to hand, so okay. So yeah, we're done with three. Let's bag that up. I don't normally use these baggies to store stuff, but I've also not done one of these kinds of diamond paintings before either. So I'm wondering what I'm trying to think of some ideas for using these leftover specialty drills. I might decorate some. I might decorate some like metal tins. Like I, I noticed that Robin with the patty wax And I saw this on your channel too, Rachel. But I had noticed on her Etsy, she started doing these like themed tins where she's doing specific colors and stuff. And then you get samples and whatever with the tins. And I've actually been thinking about doing tins, not exactly like hers, obviously, but I've been thinking for a while about doing tins for small tins like that with magnets in them for holding needles, and decorating them with like mandala dot paintings or something like that. I bet I could use these little rhinestones on the tops of those tins, and maybe there would be some interest in that. So I always have all these ideas for my Etsy shop, and then actually executing them is the difficulty. So I have stuff in my Etsy store right now, but it's not a lot of stuff, and it's only a fraction of the things that I have ideas for. It's just having the time to actually do it all, you know. And I think you're probably all familiar with those kinds of what's the word I'm looking for? Struggles, I guess. That's a good enough word. Oh wow, it's been 40 minutes already. Goodness, y'all make this go fast. Excuse me. Pardon me. It sounds like I'm coming down with a cold. I promise I don't have a cold. I think it's just too warm in the house. I have the AC on, which you shouldn't have to have the AC on in January, but I do. And I think it's just the wonkiness of the weather. Excuse me. Goodness. That's going to be fun in replays for folks. Look at these. These are fun. So this is number 4. These are like teardrop shaped. They're like little peachy colored teardrops. I like these a lot. They're iridescent. Number 4. Okay. Let's start up here. This is really sticky. It's not having a problem with me putting the film back and forth. Aw. Yeah, kids are certainly easy to catch things from. I don't have a lot of contact with little kids anymore. My stepkid, Adam's daughter, she is 16 now, and she just turned 16 in December. So she's not a little kid by any means anymore. She's almost a grown adult. So there's usually not a lot of concern about getting sniffly stuff from her anymore. Let's see. Oh, these are going to go down here in the rough around the peacock's neck. That's cool. Okay, let me do this so you can actually see it. I need to get a tutorial from you, Rachel, on how you set up your camera so that people can actually see what you're doing. Because this is the hardest part, is actually doing this so that anybody could see what I was doing. So I guess maybe I need the camera sort of like pointed off to the side. Oh no. Well, I'm glad to know that it's not just me with the camera angles having difficulty and stuff. Adam helped me last night. He was such a huge help last night because I was having the worst time trying to figure out how to get the camera set up in any kind of conducive way to do this. And if it had not been for him, I would still be struggling now. And y'all would probably be looking at my face while I'm doing diamond painting instead of looking at the diamond painting. And part of it is I get I'm directionally challenged. I say that I'm dyslexic, but I haven't actually been diagnosed or anything. So I don't know that I'm officially dyslexic. But certainly I have some issues with directional stuff. I have some issues with reading and stuff. Not to the point where I can't read, but I'm a very slow reader because I have to read every single word, and sometimes the letters kind of swap themselves out. And so it can be difficult to do things sometimes. So I probably do have some level of dyslexia. I've just never been diagnosed. I think I fell in, I was one of those kids that sort of fell between the cracks because I pick up things very easily in certain respects, especially like during class discussion and stuff. I'm really good at understanding concepts and learning concepts from visuals and from discussion. And so so I always really got everything very quickly in school. But when it came to reading things, I had a more difficult time. There's a four-way over here. These are really pretty. Yep, I am not getting that. Okay, this is where my perfectionism comes in because I did not hit the circle quite right. There we go. And there's a 4 here. So who is going to be on Kathy Davidson's? Actually, Kathy Davidson has already started her floss and fabric sale. So if you're here, you're probably missing that. Who's going to be in on Misty's Mystic hand dyed sale later this afternoon at noon? I'm going to look. I don't know that I'm going to try not to pull the trigger on anything except maybe a grab bag or a bit bag. I have to see how expensive those are. I'm trying to save money for San Antonio, and I don't actually get paid till Tuesday anyway. So, yeah, I know you are. And it's fine. I'm happy to receive those packages for you and, get them sent back out. It seemed to work okay. I'll try to do a little bit, but well, I probably won't have to worry about the holidays this next time. So that was part of it. It seemed like the package got to New York and then it just kind of stalled out, even though it was after New Year's when it got to New York. I was very happy when I saw your unboxing video because I'm like, yay, Rachel got it, because the tracking wouldn't tell me anything but that it got to New York, and that was the last thing it would tell me. So I have something super exciting coming in the mail. It's been shipped now. I think it's not going to arrive until after we get back from San Antonio, but it's super spiffy. I didn't think I was going to be able to get anything like this anytime soon, but I contacted the seller and then she gave me a really good deal. So I'm super, super excited. It's going to be really, really fun. It's a cross stitching thing. So maybe not as exciting for my diamond painting friends, but it's might be exciting for my cross stitchy friends. It'll be on my next floss tube, I'm sure. Well, maybe not my next floss tube. It will be in an upcoming floss tube. I was thinking about filming a floss tube this weekend, but I don't think that's going to happen after I spend this time here. Oh my gosh, a Michael's order for a head? Oh my gosh. You gonna order all 120 something flosses at one time from Michael's? We'll be in San Antonio this coming weekend. I think we're flying in Thursday. Yeah, we're flying in Thursday, and then we'll be leaving Sunday. So that's this coming Martin Luther King weekend that we're going to be there. That looks like all the 4s. I don't see any more 4s. This is so fast. So fast. Part of me is like, I should only do diamond paintings like this, because then there's like the instant gratification of finishing immediately. Like you can do the project in an hour. Don't enable you right now. Well, yeah, if there's a 40% off coupon, I feel like you kind of have to do that. Just be careful because they don't let you at Michael's. I want to say that they have like a 99 item limit or something per order. So you might actually have to place a couple orders if you're going to try to do, excuse me, if you're going to try to do your entire head all at one time. But if that's what floats your boat, girl, you go ahead and do it. Oops, sorry. I just jiggled the table. But yeah, if that's what floats your boat, you go ahead and order all those flosses. I will package them up. I will send them to you. It's all good. It usually gives me an excuse, especially if they have a 40% off. They just had a 40% off earlier this week. On Wednesday is when it ended. And I think the current coupon is 20% off your entire order, which is not as good for floss. I would say stock the page until they do the 40% off online orders, and then put your order in at that point. That's what I usually try to do. I didn't do that this time because I should have ordered Wednesday and I was too tired to go through my stash and figure out what I needed. So I didn't order until Friday. So I only got the 20% off, but I still spent less than 20 bucks. And I got a lot of floss. So I was preparing for stuff to take to San Antonio. Set of DMC floss online and about flipped out over the price. So I think I will slowly just gather. Yeah, Rebecca, that's pretty much my thing. And it's so funny. So when we did Stiach back in September, July, August, September, something like that was when it started. They had this massive floss list. It was like 60 something colors. I want to say it was like 69 colors. And so I thought after that, I was never going to need any more floss ever again. Oh my gosh, I was so mistaken. So mistaken. And it made me mad because two of the patterns that I was buying floss for this time are actually primarily the same sort of muted pinks and blues and stuff that we used in Stiach. And so I went through my stash thinking I was going to have most of the colors I needed. And it turned out I only had 5 of the 15. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. That's so crazy. It's like, how is it possible that I still don't have, I have all of these colors that should be the right colors and they're still not. And then I'm also doing the peppermint purple backstitch, year-long backstitch SAL. And she's doing sort of a rainbow motif thing. And it turns out I had like none of those colors. And I was like, oh. So I didn't buy all of that because that would be 52 colors for the year. I didn't buy all of that. I bought some of that because I wanted to keep the cost down because my budget's running super low right now. And like I said, I don't get paid till Tuesday. So yeah, I tried to be a little bit frugal with that, but yeah. I spent about $40 for soya, but got the floss fabric and a bigger Q stamp. Oh yeah, $40 for all that stuff. That's a good deal. I think I spent close to $40 just on my fabric. I'm going to assume that you didn't get from Mystic Hand Dyed for your soya fabric, because I know most of hers were $30. I think because she was doing those big pieces of fabric. Did you get white fabric, and did you dye it at all, or are you using just a plain fabric? Because I'm always curious what people decide to do. Let's see. This is number 5. Number 5. 5 is alive. Number 5 is alive. Adam mentions stuff like that and then thinks that I don't remember Johnny 5. And I'm like, I am a child from the 80s. Like, I remember things from the 80s that... Cyber Monday, you could get the whole thing for around $250 or $260. Now it's back to over $300. Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine spending $250 or $260 at a shot for floss. Oh, you stayed with the oatmeal. Yeah. Oatmeal's a good color for that SAL, I think. I was going to get the white and tea dye, but I found the oatmeal, went with it. Yeah, I think you're good with the oatmeal. I think it's a nice light neutral color. It gives it some interest without being too busy or anything like that. I used oatmeal for a Christmas stitch that I did for a present this year. And I find that I really, I like it better than just doing a straight up white Aida or even an off-white Aida. It's got a little bit more visual interest, gives it sort of a more rustic vibe, I think, depending on what you're going for. So yeah, it's really nice. But yeah, I don't think I can't imagine spending $260 straight up all at one time. I'm sure I've spent at least that much at this point. But yeah, I can't imagine spending all of that at one time for floss. In a lot of ways, it would probably be really convenient because then I'd have all the colors, but also I'd have to store them and I'd have to bobbinate them. I wouldn't have to bobbinate them, but I would bobbinate them. I have so much floss I need to bobbinate right now. In fact, I think that's the thing I need to do today. I need to bobbinate the floss that I need for yoga corns. I'm going to take yoga corns with me to San Antonio because that should be a nice small project. I don't know how you're going to do your yoga corns, Rachel, but I think I'm going to do mine as a triptych. I'm actually going to set it up so that they'll be like individual squares that I'm then going to maybe sew into a cube, like a stuffed cube. So what I might actually do is stitch the middle one twice so that I have 4 unicorns instead of 3. Oh, wow. All the bobbins and the double-sided container. All of that for $260. Okay, that's a really good deal, actually. You bobbinated a galaxy unicorn. Oh my gosh, I really want to see the bobbinated floss. That's like floss porn. Don't have a huge stash of floss. I still went through my stash, so I didn't have to buy this. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the best thing to do if you're being a smart and thrifty crafter is to go through your current stash and make sure that you're not rebuying colors. And I sometimes get a little lax with that. I hope me pulling the plastic back is not super annoying. Let's see. But yeah, sometimes, especially if I'm ordering from 123 Stitch, they make it super easy to just copy and paste your entire floss list into their page and add it to your cart. It's so much faster than buying from Michael's. So sometimes if I know, if I know that I'm buying a project that I'm not going to be doing for a little bit, like, a couple weeks or something like that, if I'm buying ahead, I will actually order from 123 Stitch instead of from Michael's, because it takes me 5 minutes to order, and then it shows up and it's all here. And it's more expensive because you're paying full price for the floss and you're also paying shipping. But I find that it can be like, it saves me so much time. So it just depends on what I'm doing. Most of the time I buy Michael's, especially if I have to buy a ton. Asmer. What is Asmer? I mean, what thing was Asmer just now, Adam? Because all I did was like shuffle I just knocked things over basically. Last cross stitch was full coverage. Oh, on a Stevie Nicks pattern. Now I'm doing a kit for my sister. Really? So is the kit like a sampler, or is it just not full coverage? Oh, interesting. Oh, the plastic. Yeah, I don't know that this plastic is ASMR for anybody. All the colors. The only one I couldn't find was 313 pewter gray. I think 313 is a difficult color to find. I want to say that was one that people had trouble with for Stiach too, but I can't remember. I feel like I have 313. If you still need that, let me know. I might be able to send it to you. I'll have to check and see. I still have so many colors that I'm probably never going to use that are left over from Stiach, because they were like 80s Golden Girl colors. Though I do love the teals and stuff that came in that. So I will forever be in love with those teals. And it was funny because so many of the additional finishes, the finish options that they gave us, used the pink, and I was like, I'm not about this pink. Why can't more of these finishes have these teals in it? Let's go with the teal. So yeah, I'm all about that. So yeah, yoga corns are going with me to San Antonio. I'm gonna get that started. Oh, 314 is probably what I have. Yeah, I think they're pretty close. There's a website that I've used that lets you compare, or helps you compare colors and find suitable replacements if you don't have what's called for. I can't think of what it is right now, but if you Google search, it's like DMC replacement or something like that, or DMC substitution. I think you'd find it pretty easy. I think that's all the 5s. Oh, you have to bathe Luna. How difficult is she with a bath? Is she like a bath, or is she like a pain in the butt? Yeah, the website is super, super helpful. I will try to, if I remember after this, I'll send you a link, because I've used it several times. It's really helpful. I did that. I forget what I used it with the first time, but there was something where I needed like 5 different flosses or something. I didn't have any of the ones that were called for. And so I used that to try to find some substitutions, and it was really, really helpful because it gives you, it puts all the colors together so you can see how close or how far away they are. So it's really, really helpful. So if you can't find it, let me know. I will send you a link after we get done here. Yeah, I'm sure Luna is super fun with a bath. I'm sure. I can just imagine. I do not bathe my cats for that reason. Ooh, yes, please do send me the link to the camera arm that you bought, because I think that would be super helpful. Okay, so done with number 5. This is moving so fast. So fast. And it's already 11. I was really afraid that this was going to be like long and drawn out and painful, but this is really enjoyable. Of course, y'all are making it easy because there's not 100, like Rachel's lives, and I'm sure you've been in Rachel's lives. She has like 150 people. I don't know how she keeps up with chat in any way, shape, or form. Y'all are making it easy, and y'all are fun. So I appreciate you this morning. I wonder, does anybody do like cross stitch lives? I haven't looked for it, so I don't know if that's a thing that that folks do. I don't know if I could cross stitch and talk at the same time. I'm gonna have to try a stitch and chat at some point and see if that's even a thing that would be possible. Because this works out well, because all I have to do is look for numbers, so I can talk while I'm doing this. It's totally easy. I guess if I had a piece where I had just a big block of stitching to do all in one color, I think it would be pretty easy to do. Look at these. Ooh, they're so shiny. Sparkly. I like these now. We're starting to get into the ones that look more like gems. And these are much more my taste because they're so shiny. Okay, so this is number 6. Number 6, where are you, number 6? Okay, so we've got some at the top here. Let's go to the top. And of course, if I work on a bigger diamond painting, there's not going to be so much of this moving of the plastic here, because I will be opening up a section and working on a section all at one time, and basically just switching colors and stuff. When you all diamond paint, how do you diamond paint? Do you do all like, you open up a section and do all of one color at a time, or do you just kind of bounce around? I know some people like to keep all of their drills, like a bunch of drills, different colors out at one time, and then they just kind of pick and choose and all that sort of stuff. I like to do a color at a time. And I do that with cross stitch sometimes too. As I will, like on a full coverage piece, I'll do all of one color and then come back and do a different color. Yeah, I agree, Marissa. If you really have to pay attention to your cross stitch pattern, you're not going to really be able to. Am I doing number 6? Is that what I said? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, if you really have to concentrate on your pattern, and that's why I figure that doing a cross stitch wouldn't work real well, especially for a live. Like you could do it on a whip in chat or something, stitch in chat. Okay, so the biggest issue with these shapes is that it's difficult to get them on their little cutouts. I maybe should have put my reading glasses on. I'm getting to that age, y'all, where I'm having trouble seeing up close things or small things, fine details very clearly. Even with my glasses on, I have to wear readers when I cross stitch now, especially if I'm using anything that's not Ada. So when I use my even weaves and stuff, I have to have the readers, or I can't see the tiny little holes. Yeah, I do that too, Marissa. I start with the most concentrated color usually. Like this one, I just decided to go 1, 2, 3, 4. But usually on the diamond painting, I'll open up that section, and whatever looks the biggest, I start with that and work down to whatever has the least. So after this today, I'm trying to think of what else I need to get done. So I need to kit up my yoga corns for San Antonio. So I need to do that today. I need to start getting packed for San Antonio because that's a thing. We're not going to be gone for very long, so I don't need a ton of stuff, but I do need my craft supplies. I'm sure y'all know how that is. So I don't think I'm going to take any diamond painting. I don't think I'll have that much time to do that kind of stuff. But I know I will have stitchy time, and stitching is easy to take everywhere. Especially because lately I've started stitching in hand. And I think it comes from like an avoidance of, like, I don't know, sometimes starting a new project and the prospect of having to grid and to put it in a frame and all this sort of stuff to get started is just like too much. And so the last couple of stitch alongs, I actually just started stitching in hand because I was like, I don't have to do any prep for this. I can just start stitching. And so it let me get started faster. And so I might do more stitching in hand going forward. We shall see. I like the feel of it because I'm doing a sewing method, and I like the way it feels to stitch that way, but it's difficult to get the stitches to lay flat sometimes. Yeah, smaller deep, like if I had saved this for San Antonio, I think this would be a good project. This is the only small thing that I have. I have some, like I said earlier, some 20 by 25s and stuff like that, but I like to use a light pad with those. And, you know, it's one of those things where by the time I add in all the things that I like to use with those things, then it becomes more difficult to travel with. I might actually, we'll see, I might take a small diamond painting with me. There's like that dragon one that I'm working on that's a little bitty, or is small anyway. And I do want to get it finished at some point. I started working on that one at work. I took it and was working on it on my lunch break. But it got to the point where I only had maybe 20 minutes to work on it. And by the time I get all the stuff out and then start working on it, then it's time to put it all away again. And it was just more time taking it out and putting it away than actually working on it. So I stopped working on it at work. Yay, PJs and stitching. Yeah, I'm right there with you, girl. After this, I'm already in my PJs. I never got into anything other than my PJs. So I'm gonna stay in my PJs. I'm gonna finish my laundry. I'm gonna probably do some dishes. I know Adam said he was gonna do some tomorrow, but I will probably try to do some today. And what else do I have to do? Probably kit up that one kit, or kit up the yoga corns, and then do some stitching is probably what my plan for the day is gonna be. Working on packing, but I've got Tuesday and probably Wednesday evening to pack too. I don't want to stay up too late Wednesday evening because we're getting on the plane like crazy early on Thursday. Sixes. There's like 2 6s down here. Yeah, I think there's only 2. Yeah, the only difficulty with this is that the pin does not want to stick to these differently shaped diamonds sometimes. There's like not enough surface area. So that's a little difficult. Other than that, I like this. I especially like these little rhinestones. It's going to be super exciting. So for the for our gift exchange, for the diamond painting gift exchange, one of the things I got was, I believe it's a Star Ore, and it's the stitch rhinestone painting. So I'm super excited. I got that. I got that and a couple of things from Redbubble. It's artwork from Medusa the Doll Maker, and it's one item is a bag, like a tote bag, and the other item is a small zipper pouch. Actually, I have the zipper pouch right here. I think Rachel saw these. I think I posted them somewhere. So this is like way too close, but so this artwork is Medusa the Doll Maker, who was one of my favorites. I found her through Daimoon Shop when Rachel started doing unboxings with them and stuff. So she is licensed with them. She does. She has some amazing paintings on their site that I will get one day. But she also does some of her art on various other websites. And so Redbubble, she is selling her items on different, her artwork on different items like bags and greeting cards and all different, like acrylic blocks, all different kind of stuff. So this particular work is, this is Amalthea, who is a character from The Last Unicorn. She is the last unicorn. So this is her as a human. This is her as the unicorn. It's one of my favorite animations of all time. And this artwork is just fantastic. It's very similar to the original from the animated show or the animated movie. And I really love it. So I got a bag that has that on it. I got the zipper bag that has that on it. And then I also got the Star Ore diamond painting. So I'm super excited. Oh, Secret Santa, that's what it was called. Yeah. Did you never get your Secret Santa stuff, Rachel? That's kind of sad. I'm sorry you didn't get your stuff. I was getting concerned because it wasn't until like right at the deadline that my Secret Santa messaged me with tracking. But then when it got here, I was like, oh my gosh, it was so worth the wait. And I was actually, it was hard to purchase for the person that, whose name I drew, only because she didn't put a lot of stuff in her wish list, and so there wasn't a lot to choose from. And I like it when people have really big wish lists because that gives me the freedom to kind of pick and choose and to kind of try to be creative with it. Oh, I'm sad that we had a few that didn't follow the spirit of the exchange. I know that I spent a little bit more than the limit, but that was because the person who I got, she only had 5 items, I think, in her wish list. And it was a situation where if I purchased 2 items, it would have been under. And if I purchased 3 items, it would have been way over. So I think I ended up getting her 3 items from her wish list, and it was just maybe $10 over or something like that. And I was like, I'd rather be over generous than under generous personally. So, but I kind of wish that she had more stuff just so I could have been like, okay, let's do this and this and this, and kind of curated a little bit more. But to each their own. So let's see. I think that's all the 6s. I don't see any more 6s. This is turning out really nicely. So, okay, so we're gonna put 6s in the bag. I would totally do Secret Santa again, though. I think it was really, really fun. And I actually really love Elfster. I think I'm going to continue using Elfster as my main wish list thing. Because what I have a tendency to do on Amazon, I know a lot of people use Amazon as their main wish list, but what I have a tendency to do is that if I see an item that I want to remember, like it's not necessarily something that I want or need right this minute, but it's something I want to remember for later or look at later, I put it in my wish list. And so my wish list is this horrible, massive amalgamation of random stuff. And it's not necessarily a list of things that I would want somebody to purchase for me for a gift. So Elfster is really nice because I can actually curate that and be like, okay, so this is the thing that I want most right this minute. And I can also use it maybe as a reward system for myself. Like if I do X number of things that I'm supposed to do and I budget really well, then I can buy, this thing off my list. So I'm definitely gonna use it that way going forward. So if for no other reason, then the Secret Santa was awesome for exposing me to Elfster. But I would absolutely do Secret Santa again. I think it was super fun. Also, it let me be a secret stalker on a bunch of my friends and surprise them with stuff. So that was that was really nice. I got to send some stuff to some folks that I wouldn't normally have been able to because I wouldn't have known what to get them or wouldn't have had a way to send it to them without them knowing that I had their address. So that was really fun. Yeah, Secret Stalker, definitely. It was definitely Secret Stalker. Yeah, so definitely, I hope you're going to do that again next year. If you need help organizing that stuff next year, let me know. You do so much. I can't even imagine how you have time to do what you already do. And so I would love to be like, hey, if you ever need help with anything ever, let me know. But I am not that person. I'm not that reliable. But as I have time and availability, I will certainly jump in and help you. I'm super super excited to be participating in DP-a-thon. So thank you so much for adding me to that. It's definitely, I'm trying to get out of my box this year a little bit more and try some things that I haven't, that I've maybe been afraid or a little lacking in confidence to do before. So, and doing a live is certainly one of those things, stretching myself a little bit and, kind of getting myself out there. So I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel. I'm trying to grow my crafty business. The ultimate goal really is to try to be my own boss so that I can make my own hours and do my own thing. And I want to be a creative person 100% of the time, ultimately. So I want to be able to do crafty and creative things all the time. And it's going to take work and it's going to take time. So Christmas in July. Ooh, that would be super fun. And by July, I might have money again. By July, we'll be done with all of our travel for the year. It's so crazy because we have so much travel planned this year, and all of it is happening by the end of June. Like it's 4 or 5 trips that we're going on, and everything is happening before June. Or before the start of July, at least. So it's going to be a crazy, crazy year. I still have in the back of my mind the brain fart. Oh, the DP retreat. Are you still? I don't know if you are going to be able to do the retreat anymore. Are you, Rachel, with the hotel situation? Is that even? I don't know if you've even been thinking about that. And certainly, it's totally cool if you're not. But with their situation, I imagine that's kind of like all up in the air, or maybe completely out at this point. But Heike and I can still come out. We can have a mini DP retreat. Mostly because I love Ireland and I want to see you and I really want to meet Heike. So I feel like this could still be a thing in September. So you let me know. Let me know if that's still a possibility. Doesn't have to be a big like organized thing. And I've been to Ireland enough times now that I don't actually need a bunch of sightseeing. I just hang out and carry. Honestly, okay, so you're still going forward with that. That's cool. Yeah, so that's still in my plans. At the moment, I don't know where the leave or the money is coming from, but it's still a thing that I want to do. And because it's in September, I actually have some time after all these other travel plans that I can work that out, hopefully. So I'm doing my best to regulate my leave time. I actually took less leave at Christmas and New Year's because I was saving up as much as I could for September, or just in general, so that I can hopefully have enough left over to take time in September. So still planning on coming out in September. Sweet. Yeah, yeah. I always want to come to Ireland. Always, always. Every time I leave, all I want to do is come back. And not that I'm any kind of Irish expert at this point or anything, but the 2 times that I have been, I will say that the west coast of Ireland is my favorite. I loved Galway. I need to go back to Galway and see if I love it as much the second time as I did the first time. I loved Galway, but I especially loved Kerry. County Kerry is fantastic. And it was so funny. We went to Dublin towards the end of our trip this last time, and we had this essentially an Uber driver, a rideshare driver, and she was talking a mile a minute, and I was having difficulty understanding her. And she actually made mention of, oh, those Kerry accents, they're so hard to understand. And I was just like, really? I was like, I had no trouble understanding anybody in Kerry, but I get to Dublin and I can't understand Dublin accent, so it's funny. But yeah, Kerry, there's something special about Kerry. There's something special about just the landscape and the country, and of course you can't get too far away from the ocean anywhere in Ireland. It's literally an island, so you're never far away from the ocean. But there's something about the ocean on the west coast. it's phenomenal. It just feels fantastic being there. Nothing else, no other place in Ireland is nearly as comfortable and welcoming and just fantastic feeling as Kerry was to me. I did like Tipperary a lot. I think if Adam and I were ever to, not Tipperary, Tullamore. I think if Adam and I were ever to actually move to Ireland, we would probably consider Tullamore. Um, Mostly because Tullamore has this nice combination of sort of small town, rural, but also tiny city. It has an interesting feel. That's where the Tullamore Dew distillery is, and we stayed there overnight. And it's a nice little sort of main street area that's not too built up, but not too rural either. Um, so Kerry would be my first preference, but because Adam prefers to be closer into people and it's not nearly as introverted and anti people as I am, we would probably be somewhere more like Tullamore, which is much closer into Dublin. So it's farther away from the ocean, which is one of the reasons I don't. It's not my first choice, but I really liked it as well. West Coast represent. Yeah, Kerry is the best. Kerry is totally the best. My favorite. I'm trying to remember. I mean, I really like rural Kerry, and I know that there are special challenges to living in rural Ireland, and I don't know if I'm necessarily up to those challenges, but really, I don't know. There's something is the countryside is just so gorgeous. But yeah, so there is that. So I always want to go back, and I'd be happy to just stay in Kerry. I do want to visit those ring forts. I think the only place really outside of Kerry that has that kind of special meaning to me is there's this stone circle in just outside of Dublin called the Piper Stones, and that is a very special place to me. And part of it is I've been to that stone circle both times I've been to Ireland, and I have left little bits of family there. So I've visited there and left mementos to my dad and my stepdad, who passed away prior to me going the first time, and then this last time to my mom, who passed away in between. So it's a very special place. It helps me remember them and honor them. So means a lot to me. Weather, yeah. Yeah, the weather in Ireland was so strange this last time we went because it was like we brought the sun with us and it chased us until we got to Dublin, and then once we got to Dublin, it rained. It did nothing but rain for the 3 or 4 days we were in Dublin. But other than that, it was warm and sunny in a way that I had not expected. And I was like, this is Ireland. I expected it to be overcast and cool and comfortable, and it's sunny and warm. What is wrong? I was not super thrilled with that, but the sun was nice. It definitely was nice. And I think because we were there in October, if it hadn't been sunny those days, we might have frozen to death. I'm not sure. Or at least we would have felt like it because of the temperatures we were used to. I mean, Virginia, we got 70-degree weather in January, it's craziness. But other than the temperatures, Virginia, especially where we are, and I live near Richmond, so about 90 minutes from the coast, and an hour outside of DC. So we're about middle of the way in Virginia on towards the East Coast. In this area, we get pretty mild weather all year round because most of the big weather events that happen in and around this area don't actually hit us. We live in some kind of special cradle where a lot of the snow avoids us, a lot of the big storms avoid us. Excuse me. And here lately, even the hurricanes will spin out past us and only barely brush the coast, if that. So we're pretty lucky overall, even though sometimes it would be nice to have a little bit of inclement weather so that I could get some time off of work, But that doesn't work for Adam. He works for the water plant here in our hometown, and they don't get inclement weather days. He works these long 12-hour shifts, and has these back and forth between day shifts and night shifts and all this craziness. He doesn't get time off when the weather's bad, so it's not as fun for him. I work for the state, so I get all the holidays. I get all the, if we ever have inclement weather days, I get the inclement weather days. I'm very lucky that way. And I do feel fortunate to have the job that I have, even though ultimately I want to be working for myself. I feel very lucky and blessed to be in the position that I am in, because the job that I do is pretty enjoyable. I work with a lot of great people, and I make decent money that lets me afford my crafty hobbies. So that's never a bad thing. I think anytime you can do that, it's a good thing. So, can a girl get an ice day, please? Yes, please. Yes, please. Oh my gosh. I can't, we haven't even had a full day off for weather in the last year, I think, here in Virginia. I think we got a couple of half days last year, last season. But we've gotten nothing, because stuff is just, it's just not hitting us in any kind of real sense. Um, and as much as I'm okay with not having all this crazy weather that causes all kinds of problems and stuff like that, it's really disappointing to have no snow. Like, I want snow so badly. I dreamt about snow the other night. I dreamt about getting snow. This is how badly I want to see snow, because we haven't had any real snow for a while here, and I'm kind of getting tired of it. Oh, 4 years. Oh, yeah, I can't live in Texas. Yeah, Texas is not happening long term. Nope. That I've heard that Texas is a wonderful place. I've talked to a lot of people in Texas. The position I used to be in when I first started um, at the agency that I work for, I used to work in their call center, and what we did was basically cold calling, but we did outreach to companies in other states to see if they might be interested in getting some information about Virginia in the event that they were growing, looking at having additional facilities and things like that. And anytime I talked to folks in Texas, it was pretty much across the board. Like, we are fantastic, we are amazing where we are. We do not need to talk to Virginia. Thank you very much. Lots and lots of proud Texans, mostly polite, which is good. But definitely proud, happy Texans, proud, happy to be where they are. So I think that's fantastic. Any place that has that many people that are happy to be where they are, I think it's a good thing. I'm not sure if as many Virginians are as happy about Virginia. There are a lot of things I like about Virginia, but it can be a pretty conservative state. Um, I imagine Texas might be that way too. But yeah, so not necessarily down with the all of the conservative thoughts, but Virginia in general is a pretty good place to live. Yeah, I figured you'd be pretty happy with Texas. I already told you I have a friend who lives in Texas. I need to go visit her. She's fantastic. It's so funny because she's not right now. Yes, dear. Um, but I need to go visit her. I think she lives in Houston. And it's so funny because I met her through another friend. And we are so, so similar. So I had a friend that I used to work with at a career college that I used to work for. And she moved on from the career college to a healthcare system doing training for their new employees. And so she met this other friend at the new job. And when she met this other friend, she started telling me how she had a new work Jessie. So I had been obviously her first work Jessie, and now she had a new work Jessie. She had met somebody just like me at this new job, and I was like, no way, that can't possibly be. Like, not that I'm super unique or anything like that, but I mean, it just couldn't be that um, canny. And then I met Beth, who is my friend now in Texas, and we are so, so similar. It's so funny. It is so, so funny. We have so many similar interests. We think about things in the same way. And I can talk to her. I can sit and talk to her just like I can to my friend Tina. And I'm not able to sit and talk with just everybody that way. And it was so crazy. And I was like, you really did meet another me. Like there's a me living in Texas now, and I need to go talk to her. So it's been a while since I've seen her. She doesn't get to visit very often, and obviously I haven't been to Texas, so I wish that that she were a little closer to San Antonio, because I would have loved to have arranged to meet her while I'm going to be out there. But maybe in the future I'll take a longer trip and we'll be able to do a side trip to Houston. That would be fun. Virginia's okay till June. Absolutely. Yeah, once you hit the summer months, it gets pretty unbearable. The last couple of like Augusts and Julys and stuff have been awful. And see, I'm not a heat person. I'm absolutely not a heat person. I like the cool weather, which is why I really would like to move to a place like Ireland, because it never gets too hot in Ireland. And though it gets cold, it doesn't. I think the winters are comparatively more temperate than a lot of places in the States. So as much as I would like to see snow and stuff, I would take 60s all year round, or close to 60s in the summer months, um, over having snow probably. Oh, it's only about 3 hours till Houston. I don't think we're gonna have. I don't think we're gonna have time, and we're not gonna have a car. We're probably going to have to use public transit and Uber and stuff like that when we're in San Antonio. So I don't know that we can make it this time. I was trying to actually go to, I don't know if y'all are familiar with Jenny Lawson, the bloggess. She's opening a bookstore, and they're in construction now. She had hoped that she would have her bookstore open by January, but that's definitely not happened. And I don't think she's going to have it up and running in time for us to go visit while we're there. But I had hoped that because we're going to be in San Antonio and her bookstore's in San Antonio, that we would actually get the chance to go. But yeah, that's not gonna happen this time either. But it just gives us an excuse to go back to San Antonio next year. So because we're actually going for PAX South, which is a video game convention primarily. I think we're going for True Dungeon, which is a live action role playing game that Adam and I have been into for years now. And True Dungeon has been expanding. They used to only do um, their dungeon in Gen Con, which is in July/August in Indiana, in Indianapolis. So they used to only do it there, but now they've spread out to several other conventions, and they're going to even more conventions beyond that. So this year we're going to San Antonio for True Dungeon, and then in June we're going to Columbus for True Dungeon. And then PAX South will be about the same time again next year. So we might go again next year. And the bookstore should certainly be open by then. And we could, like I say, we could plan a longer trip, and we could head over to Houston for a little bit and see my friend who lives in Houston and do the bookstore and, all that kind of stuff. So next year might be a bigger trip to Texas. Especially since I hear the food is fantastic. I hear all kinds of good things about the food. So there are a lot of sevens. I'm feeling tired now. There's so many sevens. It's like I feel like I'm doing actual work now. I'm also amazed that I'm still finding stuff to talk about. I usually run out of things to talk about. I'm not a small talk person. I don't know if y'all are, but I find it difficult to talk about just random. So I've talked about the weather a lot, but it's a big thing this time of year. Let's see. It's 11:30, so I'll probably go for another, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes or so. Because I want to be done in plenty of time for, I forget whether it's Wolfpack who's doing a noon. I forget who it was. Pippa had put together a pretty comprehensive list of all the folks who have weekly scheduled lives. And so I looked for a good spot between everybody else's lives. I didn't want to step on any toes in trying to practice and all that sort of stuff. And I know somebody goes on at noon on Sundays, but I don't remember who. So I definitely want to be done in plenty of time for that. And I want to be done in plenty of time to get on Misty's website or Misty's Facebook and be ready to refresh like a crazy person on the couple of albums that I'm going to check out. And I'm going to try to keep my overall order pretty low, because if you have a low order, then she'll give you 10 days to pay your invoice, and that'll give me a little bit of breathing room until I get paid. Oh goodness, I'm getting diamonds all over my laptop. Oh no. Okay. But yeah, I'm trying to like my whole goal for this year was to spend less money on crafting supplies. And it's going to be pretty easy with diamond paintings, because I have an assload of diamond paintings. I really do. Especially because I've ordered so many diamond art clubs. I actually got to the point where I stopped ordering anything that wasn't Diamond Art Club, partly because the AliExpress stuff just takes so long, and partly because I had so many diamond paintings anyway. And then Diamond Art Club has such high quality stuff and all that kind of thing. So I bought a couple from. Are you using anything specific to budget? I'm a chaotic shopper, yeah. um, to budget, all I'm really doing is saying I have X number of dollars and I shouldn't spend X number of dollars. I'm not actually using any specific budgeting technique. I need to. I really need to. But part of the thing is, we are still struggling to get our bills to within a reasonable range of what we actually are making, because the mortgage is massive. And that was a bill that we weren't paying up until about 2 years ago. When mom passed, the mortgage fell on us. She had been paying it, and we took it over. So that is a huge bill. Now we have a couple of things that are kind of coming off of the um, coming out. What is it I'm trying to say? There are a couple of obligations that will be falling off this year, freeing up a little bit more money, and we need to cut some spending in some other places. So I really need to sit down and do an actual real budget, and then go, okay, so this is theoretically how much is not needed to go out to bills, and this is theoretically how much we could spend on entertainment and stuff like that. But I've never been really good at that. I'm not good at um, delayed gratification and not getting what I want immediately. Excuse me. So budgeting is really difficult. You give yourself a $30 budget a month, except for DAC BOGO sales. That's really responsible. Excuse me. That's really, really responsible. And that's a good idea. I need to do something like that. And I've started to try to, like, my last idea was to give myself maybe $100 a month for cross stitch supplies, and $100 because if I buy a piece of Misty fabric, that's going to cost me $30 probably. And I'm already signed up for her fabric of the month club, so that's $20. Yeah, I think that's $20 a month. So that's already $20. So if I kept myself to $30, I'd basically be done already. I wouldn't be able to do anything. So I think I want to give myself a budget of maybe $100. And I know that sounds like a lot, but if you knew how much I had spent, and if I shouldn't say this where Adam can hear it, but if y'all knew how much I had spent in the last few months, I think he has an idea. He has an idea. But we both have the philosophy that as long as the bills are paid and as long as we're both gainfully employed, then we get to do what we want to with our money. Like, I don't tell him what he can and can't buy. He doesn't tell me what I can and can't buy, because we know that we're responsible adults and the bills are getting paid. If at any point that shifts and we're spending frivolous money when bills are not getting paid, then that's a whole different situation. But we don't do that. So I just noticed a 6 that did not get placed. But yeah, so $100, though it seems like a lot, is actually is a pretty good reduction from what I have spent. And I do need to get a handle on it. I need to get a limit. But I'm looking at possibly also joining a couple of floss clubs as well. So yeah, I work hard for my hoard. I really do. Just stay out of my cards and tokens. Yeah, I don't mess with your cards and tokens, baby. I really don't. And that's the whole thing. You have your cards and tokens. I have my fabric and floss and my diamond paintings. And I will say that I've sort of promised myself that unless there's some kind of huge crazy sale on Diamond Art Club for paintings that I love, that I'm dying to have, then I'm just not going to buy any more diamond paintings for a while, because I have so many, and I still have 4 works in progress that I haven't finished from last year. So I'm not even going to open any more paintings until I get those finished. And I'm not going to buy any more paintings until I get those finished. Unless, like I say, there's a couple of Diamond Art Clubs that I'm still super in love with. And if a crazy sale went on and I could get them for super cheap, I would probably buy them. But otherwise, I'm not gonna be buying any more diamond paintings for a while. But cross stitch supplies are hard because I'm starting new projects all the time, and you always need floss and you always need fabric. Though as much as possible, when I'm starting new projects, I'm looking through everything I have first. And I will say it's so fun when you decide that you want to start a new cross stitch project and you look through your stash and you have just the perfect fabric already. It is the most exhilarating feeling. Oh my gosh. You only allow 5 DPs in your stash anytime. That is like super extra responsible. You have so much self control. So much self control. Oh, you're not really a collector. I see. Yeah. So that's a very different thing too. So that's a huge like difference in mentality. I think Rachel and I can agree that we're both collectors. And as a collector, it's hard not to just get all the things. Like you need all the things all the time. And I think and I don't know if this is true for you, Rachel, but I think for me, there's this like strange fear that you'll somehow not have a thing to work on someday in your life. Like somehow you're going to die if you run out of craft projects or something. I don't know how many crafters feel that way, but I kind of feel like that's part of my thing. Like if at any point in my life there's nothing to craft on, then I might just shrivel up and die. So, oh, I totally just dropped that in the wrong place. No, I probably need my tweezers. But yeah, so I've gotten the diamond painting under control, I feel. So that's a good thing. But I need to get the cross stitch spending under control. So I'm working on that. And I haven't spent too much, but I have spent more than I should have already this year. Oh yeah. Yeah, I keep wanting to get into scrapbooking, and I have not allowed myself to because I don't have enough time for the 2 big hobbies, the cross stitching and the diamond painting right now. So if I got expensive stuff for scrapbooking, I would feel obligated to spend a lot of time on that, and I just don't have it because I really want a Cricut. Oh my gosh, do you have a Cricut, or are you out of scrapbooking? Because a Cricut looks like one of the most fantastic things ever. But I'm like, first of all, I'd have to learn how to use a Cricut, and then I'd have to spend a lot of time using it to justify having it. And I'm like, I'm just not in that place. Really? So did you just like donate it or give it to friends when you got out of scrapbooking? Why is my nose so runny? This is so crazy. Oh, well, that's 6 and 7 done. So I guess I'll do 8, and then we'll probably be done. I may not even finish 8. We'll see, because it's almost quarter to 12 now. So I'll start 8 and we'll see where we get. You still have a Cricut. Yeah, see, that's part of how I keep justifying it in my mind, is that I could use it for so many things, but at the same time, yeah, I gave it away. But at the same time, I'm like, it's such an investment. And I have a hard time getting out of that mindset where, like, if I'm investing in my craft, then I have to get a return on that investment. It's really, really difficult to get out of that headspace. And so it's one thing if I can say, well, I'm going to get a Cricut, and then I'm going to use it for this and this and this and this, and it's going to be so awesome because I can use it for 700 million things. And if I actually do that, that's fantastic. But if I can't actually do that, then it's like, I've just spent all this money. I mean, I already have I bought a 3D printer back in May, and it's not that I'm never going to use it again, but it's one of those things where it takes a lot of time to get things set up and design things and to print things and all that sort of stuff. And I struggle to find the time to work that into other things, even though there's a lot of stuff I want to do with a 3D printer. And it would be the same thing with a Cricut. And a Cricut is actually more expensive than my 3D printer. So yeah, the learning curve is real. Yeah, I've talked to a couple of folks that have a Cricut. In fact, one of my coworkers just asked me yesterday, Friday, not yesterday. She saw a mug. It's a Tervis mug that has the Gen Con emblem on it, and she was wondering if I had made it with a Cricut. And that, no, I actually purchased. But she was excited for half a second because she thought she found another Cricut user, and I was like, no, sorry. Like I want to, I really do, but yeah, I don't have the time and money for that. So if I ever become my own boss, or make crafting my full-time job, or at least my full-time vocation, then I will probably work into investing in a Cricut, and I will do a bunch of stuff with it because it is so versatile. You can do so many things. Like I'm pretty sure that Robin, with her Patty Wax boxes, I'm pretty sure that she's using a Cricut or something similar to make those logos that she's putting on top of those boxes. And that's such a cool idea, because you can get the vinyls and the metallics and all the different stuff in so many cool different colors. And it's self-adhesive and just really spiffy. And you can do all kinds of branding and just really cool stuff. So I would like to get into that, but I am trying to be responsible and not investing in yet another diversion, basically. I'm trying to focus on one main thing and maybe some secondary things. Oh yeah, I don't think she was specifically interested in the Gen Con emblem. I think she just saw it and wondered if I was into Cricut. I didn't realize Cricut had been out that long. I guess it has. But yeah, there's still, I don't understand how they're still so expensive. They've been out for years and years and years. But it is still like to get the, not even necessarily the top of the line, but like a mid-range with any of the tools and stuff like that, it still costs more than $300. And that's a really hefty investment. I mean, it took a little while for me to decide to jump into the 3D printing. And the machine that I got is a, what is it? Oh, it escapes me now. My brain is just not pulling it up. But the one that I got is like $2.99 on Amazon. Very expensive. Yeah, that's what I figure, is that you have to replace those blades all the time. And obviously, anytime you use the vinyl and stuff, you have to buy more once it's gone. And those vinyls are really, really expensive. So it's not a cheap hobby at all. I watch some of these folks on YouTube that have all of the things for everything ever. And they're just like, take this thing and do that thing, and then you can make this other thing. And it's fantastic. And I'm like, yeah, if I had $50 to devote to that one project, that would be super awesome. And it's like, I don't know how many people sitting here watching this video actually have that kind of disposable income. I'm not even really sure. Well, I guess to some extent, especially because these folks that I'm watching are pretty big YouTubers. I think they've got thousands and thousands of subscribers and all that sort of stuff. So, so I'm sure they're successful enough in their YouTube business that they're probably paying for a lot of that stuff with their YouTube videos, with their advertising, and then also I'm sure that they've got some deals with some of the companies and stuff too. So that helps. But it's like your average, your average YouTube viewer just trying to learn how to make a nifty card doesn't have that kind of money to devote to those things. So, but yeah, my 3D printer was about $300, and it was ready to use out of the box. Not all 3D printers are. I've been looking at, what is it? is it the Snap Maker, I think, which is one of those all-in-one. So it will print. It's a 3D printer, but it also does laser engraving and CNC, which is the carving. So it does the three different things, and it looks really spiffy and everything. But you have to build that thing. I was watching a video that they posted on their site or whatever, and or on Facebook, and it comes in pieces in the box, and you have to assemble it. Now, I'm a decently mechanically inclined person, but I'm not trying to build something out of the box. You know, I want it like the Cricut, where I pull it out of the box and I plug it in and it goes. And so the 3D printer that I got is basically like that. There's a bit of a learning curve. If you check out some decent YouTube videos, you can get most of the information you need. And I'm the kind of person, I do research on this stuff anyway, so it was pretty easy for me to pick up what I needed to pick up and start designing and do that kind of stuff. But it is time consuming. All of it's time consuming. It takes a while to figure out how to get your bed level so that the prints will come out correctly and consistently. And that's something that you have to do all the time. It's not like I can set the bed level one time and it's done forever. I set the bed level today. If I start printing again next week and I haven't been printing, then I have to reset the bed level the next time I start. And that's part of the issue, is that it takes a lot of time. It's not the kind of machine that's just going to sit there and be perfect all the time, even when you get one that's ready to use right out of the box and is really user friendly. So, whereas the Cricut is just like, it's ready to go. You just have to learn all the bazillion million settings, you know. So everything has its thing, I guess. Well, guys, even Cricut, you have to download software and other things. Yeah, you do. You just don't have to build it out of the box, I think was what it comes pre-assembled and ready to go. You have to learn how to use it though. So but yeah, so it's a little after 10 to 12. So I guess let's call this thing a wrap. I'm not going to finish the red right now because I want to get on Misty's website. But thank you all so much for being here with me and making this so enjoyable and so fast. I really appreciate it. And I hope you'll join me again on the 25th for DP-a-thon. And, if I do any lives in the meantime, I'll certainly let you know. So thank you so much, guys. Yep, first live done. It was very exciting and very enjoyable. Thank you all. You too. You have a great day, Rebecca. Thank you. Thank you so much, Marissa. Thank you so much for bringing me into the community and making me so welcome. Y'all have a great day. Thanks. Bye.